There's this quiet crisis happening in our workplaces, and it affects pretty much everyone. But here's the thing. I think we've been looking at it all wrong. Today we're going to dig into the hidden side of burnout, the side that actually starts from the top.
Okay, just imagine this for a second. Picture your boss, the person who's supposed to be guiding your team, your career. What if they admitted something huge? What if nearly half of all managers are holding on to the exact same secret?
And that's the secret. They feel completely, utterly unprepared to support you, to support their team's mental health. This isn't just a guess, you guys. This is the new reality in a shocking number of workplaces, and honestly, it explains so much about the stress we're all feeling.
Yeah, we hear that word burnout all the time, right? The exhaustion, the stress, just constantly running on empty. But we've been focusing on just one part of the story, because it's not just the employees who are struggling. Their managers are too.
So this brings us right to the heart of the issue, what I'm calling the manager's dilemma. They're basically caught in this impossible spot between what their team needs and their own total lack of preparation. And it's creating this massive problem that sits right at the core of our companies.
Let this number just sink in for a second. 40%. A recent study found that a full 40% of managers straight up admitted they feel unprepared to help their own teams navigate burnout and mental health. That is a huge, huge confidence gap. I mean, really think about what that means. We're not talking about spreadsheets or hitting deadlines here. We're talking about the most fundamental human part of work. And nearly half of our leaders are saying, yeah, I'm not equipped for this. And the reason why? Well, it becomes crystal clear when you look at this. Only about 55% of managers have ever received any kind of formal leadership training. That means a staggering 45%, almost half, were just thrown into the deep end. They were expected to manage people without ever being given the tools to do it right.
And look, this isn't just about a skills gap, it's an incredible emotional drain. A lot of managers are reporting that supporting their team's well-being is way more draining than making tough calls like layoffs. It's ironic, right? They're burning out from trying to prevent burnout.
This slide just sums it up perfectly. The very definition of what it means to be a leader has totally shifted. It used to be about giving direction, making decisions. Simple. But now it's all about empathy. It's about understanding people, their stress, their sanity. The problem is, we're still promoting people based on that old model. Okay, so you might be thinking, why does my manager's struggle matter so much to me? Well, because it creates a ripple effect, a burnout ripple effect that touches every single employee in a company. Let's break down exactly why this is your problem too.
It's a really simple but really damaging equation. When the person who's supposed to be your guide is lost, you end up feeling abandoned. It's just inevitable. An unprepared leader is going to lead to an unsupported team.
And the consequences are pretty much exactly what you'd expect. Performance tanks because, well, people are just not engaged. Retention plummets, your best people start leaving for healthier places, and team morale, it gets absolutely crushed under all that collective stress.
So here's the most crucial point. When companies don't train their managers to handle this new reality, burnout stops being an individual's problem to solve on their own. It gets baked right into the company culture. It becomes a culture problem.
Okay, but it is not a hopeless situation. Far from it. The same data that shows us the problem also kind of points toward the solution. So how do we actually forge a path forward? How do we finally equip our leaders for the job they have today?
It really starts with a clear, actionable plan. First, you've got to train managers on emotional intelligence, those soft skills that are now the most essential skills. Second, provide real, accessible mental health resources for everybody. Third, you have to create a culture where it's actually safe to talk about stress. And finally, teach leaders how to spot the early warning signs of burnout before it completely blows up.
And if we do that, we get to flip that whole negative equation right on its head. Because when leaders finally feel prepared and confident, that feeling of support trickles down, and suddenly employees feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel valued.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. A workforce that feels supported isn't just surviving the week, it's thriving. It's more innovative, more productive, and frankly, it's a place where people actually want to show up and work.
So as we wrap this up, let's just reframe this entire conversation one last time. Because the real problem here, it's so much bigger than just that one word. Burnout.
Let's be absolutely clear about what this really is. Burnout is not just an employee problem. It's a leadership problem. It's a culture problem. And at its very core, it is a management problem.
Which leaves all of us with this one final critical question. If organizations don't start seriously equipping their managers with the tools they need for modern leadership, are we all just going to be stuck in this endless cycle, just talking about burnout year after year instead of ever actually doing what it takes to solve it?
Hey, if this explainer opens your eyes to what's really going on at work, do me a favor and hit that like button. And I really want to know, drop a comment below. Do you feel like your manager is prepared to handle burnout? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the modern workplace. I'll see you in the next one.